Hello everyone, welcome to Stampin' Create with Beth. I'm Beth Roy, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to do a quick video on using the Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils and Stampin' Up's water painters. So for today I'm going to use this new Yuletide Village stamp set, and it's photopolymer. So usually when we watercolor, we want to stamp with a permanent ink, such as StazOn, but I don't like to always use StazOn with my photopolymer stamps. This requires a special cleaner. So this is actually the recommended ink, but I am going to use our classic stamp pad in basic gray. So I'm just going to use a little less water to try to keep from smearing my outlines, but you can always use your StazOn ink in place of that, which is what is recommended. So let's get started here. I have the old set of watercolor pencils as well as the new set. So I might have some colors that are no longer available, but I like to still use them. They still work. So I'm also going to use the Fluid 100 watercolor paper that Stampin' Up! Sells. This comes in a 5x7, and I'm just going to stamp on this and then watercolor. I'm not going to finish into a card. I'm just doing this video to show you how I would use, how I would use the watercolor pencils with my water painters. So, let's see. I am just going to use this little house here. Again, this classic ink is water-based, so that's why it reacts and moves when the water touches it. So I'm just going to do a little bit drier watercoloring, and you'll see what I mean when I get going. So I love this little stone fence in this stamp set. And let's do a little tree too. So the Fluid 100 watercolor paper, it looks more like a very vanilla than a bright white. So don't be surprised when you get this out and you think it's not white. It's kind of a in-between. So I stamped what I wanted to stamp, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start getting out colors. And I just have, these pencils come in a box, but I just have mine thrown into a stamp case that I had left over. Stampin' Up! Used to carry wood cases, and so I've just recycled it to hold my pencils. And I cut just the portion of the box out. So these are the new colors, and this is assortment 1. And they took out Pacific Point and Bermuda Bay and replaced it with a few others. And then I also have assortment 2. So I have 2 of the assortment 1s, and I have an assortment 2. And I'm just going to start getting out colors I want to use. So this is basic gray, and I'm just coloring on this. So there's several techniques you can do to use your pencil, your watercolor pencil. So you can color on your paper and then add water and activate it and smooth it out. And again, how hard you press is gonna, kind of determine how dark or light that is. So you can see I've pressed harder in some areas. I'm just leaving a little bit of color down, and then we're going to smooth it out. Come in and do the roof here. Now you can use these and not activate them with water. It's completely up to you. I like to do that as well. And let's see. This is Old Olive. I'm going to do my tree here. And I like to add all my color and then kind of go back. and smooth it out. So right now I'm just coloring. And some of this is like it has snow on it, so I'm leaving some of it white. Let's do a coastal cabana house. You guys know I love my teals. So I'm just going to color this on. And then we'll smooth it out. And you can color on, you can take your water painter to the tip of this and grab color and put it on here. You can wet this, but I will say, I will show you down here on the bottom part what happens when it's already wet and you add pencil to it. It's definitely a different look. And you may want to add water and then let it dry and come back in and add a different color. It's completely up to you how you want to do that. Okay, so I'm just doing a quick, like I said, quick video to show you. So this is our water painters. It comes in a set of 3 and there's 3 different sizes. And the tube holds water. So you can squeeze this and get your paper wet. I like to keep a paper towel close by too. Once you've colored on your watercolor paper, you just activate that pencil with your water painter or a paintbrush that's dipped in water, and it's going to start smoothing and moving that color. So depending on how much you put on and how dark, you're going to get a little bit of variation. Now, I am not taking my brush and just going over top of all of it. That will smear the basic gray. So if you want a no-line watercoloring, that is okay. That's a technique that you can do if you want that line to blend and go away. I want mine to stay, so I'm not going to go over top of it. So when I'm done with one color, all I have to do, let me grab my paper towel here so I can show you. All I have to do is squeeze this and run some water out the tip and then wipe it off. So it doesn't really pick up a lot of the color because we've just put a little bit on with the pencil. And then you just go to the next color. And I'm just going over top and kind of smearing it with a circle motion. And I'll clean it again, and now I'll do the gray. So the more water you add, the more it's going to move and smooth out that color and those lines. Hopefully you can see what that looks like. So the more water you add, the smoother that's going to get. And you can always let it dry and add a little more. Now I'm going to show you down here where I got it wet. Okay, I got it really wet. If you have this already wet and you draw on it, this is what happens. Basically, you're activating the watercolor right on the pencil. Okay. And you can still smear that around. But you'll notice the paper or the lines don't seem to really smooth or go away. So you can do that. You can also soak up some color. I'm just drying the edge of my pencil off by rolling it on my paper towel. Now it's all dry. If I wanted to add some more color on here, I could pick some up off of my pencil and add it right onto my house here. Like that. So that's a couple ways you can use the pencils to watercolor. And let's see. Looking for Balmy Blue. I look at the names because the ends of the pencils don't really do justice for the actual color. Some of them look darker than they really look. So I'm just adding in some blue here for my sky. And then I'm going to squeeze a little water out so my brush tip is wet, and I'm just smoothing that out. And if you do circles, you might like that texture better than lines. So I'm just getting it wet to kind of smooth that and spread the color. So there you go. We have a little scene, and if you want it a little darker, you can go back and add some more in and just smooth it out. So just keep adjusting to how you like it. Add a little more water here and come back in and smooth that area. And it is going to look different and have a different texture when you add it on to the already wet background. So sometimes I let it dry first and then go back in and add more color. Sometimes it just takes a little practice and playing to see what you prefer. And this is how you can watercolor and get that same look with the pencils and the water painters. So thanks for joining me today for my quick video on how to use the watercolor pencils and our water painters. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video. This is on my YouTube channel, so please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.